once again, the Western Conference, a team that is right there above 500 with Lincoln and trying to battle their way back into the upper tier of that very competitive division. We have Drew Schoneck, the head coach and GM of the Tri-City Storm. And Drew, your second season with the team. You got Tri-City to the playoffs for the first time in 3 seasons last year. And did you think things could be even more competitive this season in terms of what you're up against night in and night out? That's a really, really tough configuration out west.
Well, it sure is, and no one would have thought that, going forward into the start of the year that, our conference would be so tight where basically 8 points separates first through last. And, every game is a 3-point game now where, it seems to be everybody's going to overtime and shootouts. So, even if you win a game, you're not necessarily gaining ground. And, we were, in a spot about a month and a half ago where we were last. We went 8-1-1 in 10 games and moved up to 6th. And that shows how
tough league.
Shows how tight things are.
That's a tough league, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it is, and it's a great league, and there's lots of parity, and it's good because it keeps the guys on their toes. There's no easy nights, and every night you have to bring your A game, or you're not going to get the result you want.
Drew, you've got a little bit of a different perspective in terms of your hockey background coming to the USHL. You're a native of Saskatchewan. You played at the Canadian junior level. You played at the Canadian college level, and then in the minor leagues as a defenseman. And then beyond your coaching experience, Western League, British Columbia League, Manitoba Junior Hockey League. What do you think are some of the things that maybe separate you and maybe give you a little different angle on things coming from that background as opposed to a number of your coaching brethren in the league that have maybe more of an American college spin?
Well, certainly the one thing coming to the USHL out of, basic Canadian Major Junior is, how well coached this league is. It's a very underrated league, and I know that, there's always the competition between the two, Major Junior or NCAA college route, and, I've been fortunate where I've worked on both sides of the coin, and, the one thing I try and do is kind of bring a real Canadian style of hockey down to my team here in Tri-City where, we're kind of a real north and south team where we like to get the puck in and get in on the forecheck and really be a physical hockey club. And, I know that, watching college hockey and watching some of the coaches in our league, they've got very skilled teams that are very fast, that like to play kind of an east-west game where they like to beat you passing it back and forth and beat you with skill. And my teams, certainly are going to, we want to have some skill, but we certainly want to beat you along the boards and in the corners.
Is anybody picking up on that, Coach? Anybody else playing that style as well?
Yeah, Green Bay. John Cooper did a good job last year with his team in Green Bay. They played a very similar style, but again, Coop's a Canadian guy, so again, it's nobody's really kind of grasped a hold of it yet, and it's a tough way to play night in and night out because it's a hard game, and there's nights where, I'll admit we do get outskilled. There's, some teams out there that, have a little bit more firepower than we do. And if they're clicking and we're clicking, we may not win. But, again, we're, hopefully building for a playoff run. And we're kind of playing that playoff style right now. So we shouldn't have to change our game, hopefully too much, if and when we make it.
No, again, your league is set up, obviously, this competition all the way through. But these kids are here really to play college hockey at the next level. And if most of them see it, that skills are going to get them there, not saying it's a bad thing and they're leaving the rest of the game behind, but there's always going to be some kids that can make it that may not be quite as skilled as the danglers, but, they're going to add an extra element where a college coach may see, geez, he can make a spot on our top 12 or our top 6.
Well, and absolutely. I mean, every team's got skilled guys, whether you're in the National Hockey League, Major, Junior, or college. I mean, your top, 4 or 5 or 6 forwards are pretty skilled, but after that, you need the foot soldiers that are willing to go get it.
Right.
And you have to have a good mix of skill and grit and different things that make up a really good hockey team. So, again, obviously everybody's looking for the 50-goal scorer, but again, there's also teams out there that are looking for the guy that's willing to go in the corner hard every time or get down and block that shot. And so, I mean, our players in this league can make it to the NCAA level through various hard work and doing the little things, paying attention to details will also get you noticed as well.
Yeah, and there's always that line, it's kind of underused, but especially in your home building, if the home building becomes an added, the seventh man, so to speak, you want to make it hard for other teams to come in and play in your own barn.
Well, absolutely. And, before we took over, the new ownership took over and myself came in, it wasn't such an easy, it was kind of an easy game playing here. And, we want to make, it's tough getting to Kearney. We're the outpost of the league. And
so it's doubly hard, yeah.
It's hard traveling there. Teams don't like coming, this way out there. So when they get here, we certainly don't want to make it very hospitable for them.
Good. It's good to know. A team that has to travel there, it's going to be tough taking points out of there. And one of the things you look at your roster, and just to talk about some of the individuals that make up the key components, you do have some veteran players. You got a guy like Rick Pinkston, who's a third-year USHL player. He's a captain, having a career year, very offensively productive. You got another third-year player with Matt Johnson. Your leading scorer is Soren Janssen, 22 points in 32 games, been pretty consistent. You got another second-year forward with Kenny Brooks that you mentioned having the foot soldiers. It certainly appears to be a guy that has the ability to recognize play in all three zones, which is invaluable at any level. You got to have guys like that. And your goaltender, Scott Diebold, is currently second in the USHL, been on a pretty good roll with 3 shutouts already this season. So seems like you've got a situation where playing your system, you've got a number of veterans that have adapted to that system.
Well, it is, and they have, and we've definitely, we've had some carryovers from last year. You mentioned Kenny Brooks and Matt Johnson were guys that played, for the program last year, and certainly they know what's expected of them coming in. We acquired Soren Janssen on draft day from the Waterloo Blackhawks because he's a guy that, he's a skill guy that can, put the puck in the net. So, you're always trying to find pieces of the puzzle here and trying to make it fit. And, again, if it's one thing I wish I could add, it's maybe one more skill guy that can score goals. We certainly get chances, but we don't come by goals very easily. And again, I like the makeup of our team. The guys work hard, and that's what you need. You need those veteran guys to show the younger guys, day in and day out in practice in the weight room and games, that what it takes to play at this level and get to the next level.
Well, Coach, we want to thank you for being with us. You got it looks like a road game Friday and a home game Saturday. You got to get down to Omaha, over to Omaha on Friday, and then you get Chicago back at home on Saturday. And certainly every weekend's going to be important down the stretch. As we said, the Western Conference is a dogfight, really, all the way from second down to you guys in Lincoln. Everybody's over 500 in the conference, so it's going to be a heck of a battle all the way down.
Well, it certainly is, and it's never an easy game. And Omaha's a team that we've played hard all year. We've lost all 3 games to them in either a shootout or overtime. So it's our turn to go in there and take 2 points from them and get ourselves moving up the ladder here.
And Coach, you mentioned Tri-City being a distant outpost, and you're trying to establish an identity and a solid foundation for your program there. And case in point is some of the activities that you're involved in with the community. And one that was brought to our attention is this pregame on the pond event, which is taking place this weekend, and having an outdoor skating event as part of the festivities surrounding a Tri-City game. And a rink, from our report, a rink is carved out of a part of the lake at Yanni Park. Players take the ice and get a chance to interact and mingle with the public. And I think that's a great step to really give it even more of an identity and kind of put the names with the faces and put the names with the numbers on the jerseys for your team as really part of the fabric of the town.
Well, it sure is, and it's exciting for the guys too. I mean, not every day, especially after you start getting a little bit older and getting into real organized hockey, you're always playing on a hockey rink, and it gives the guys a chance to kind of decompress and go out and have a little fun, and kind of get back to their roots and have a little fun with some of the local minor hockey kids that are going to come out and skate with us, and also give the fans a chance to kind of come out and mingle with the guys in a kind of a less formal environment. And I think it's being in a smaller community here in Nebraska, I think it's very important that our guys are out there and and the fans have access to them because they are our lifeblood, and that's why we exist. And again, it's a great thing. We did it last year. Minus 30 weather, and it was cold, but this year it's not going to be quite as bad, but the guys really enjoyed it, and we felt it was something that we really wanted to do again.
Absolutely, I can understand that. Hopefully from a coaching standpoint, not too many members of the Storm will be making love connections.
Well, you know what? I try and not think about that too much. I just want to go out there and have a little fun and basically maybe turn a blind eye a little bit.
Okay. Well, at minus 30, I mean, you got to warm up any way you can, I would assume, Coach.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, not on page 1 on your checklist, Coach.
No, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Thanks very much, Drew. Appreciate you.
Coach Drew Schoneck from the Tri-City Storm.
Guys.
Thanks for being with us, and good luck the rest of the way.
All right, thanks very much, guys.